Greetings from Mark's Saloon here. Why is it Mark's Saloon? Well, some videos will explain why, especially the almond milk video, but today we thought we would show you precisely how it got its name Mark's Saloon. This here is a shot of parsley. It went right through, parsley went through the juicer with a grape in this case, just for a little bit of sweetness. And we started shooting things like this and cilantro shots and other things. So it became Mark's Saloon. Cheers. It's so good for you, this stuff. And this here is a green Mary. In this case it's the mini Mary. The mega Mary is about 33 ounces. The mini Mary is about 16, but they're both green Marys as opposed to Bloody Marys, of course. There's a video we've made that talks about organic green juice. If you look at that one, you'll learn how to make these guys. But again, green Marys, what do we have in here today? We have celery and cucumber and lettuce and kale and spinach and ginger and what have you. It's in here. Cheers. Oh, and lime. There's lime in here. The lime is a great balancer for the dark greens. The more dark greens, the more lime it works. So anyway, and this is a jar of tomatoes we got from Ann Crick, a Facebook friend who was a farm mill friend in the past. So Ann makes her own canned tomatoes, so we just want to put a word in for her, because she knows how to do it. She grows her own and makes tomatoes, canned tomatoes here. So we're going to enjoy that at a later occasion, but that was very nice of her to send me a jar of that. So today, thank you, Ann. Today we're going to, again, what is today? It's Friday, so Fridays actually we sometimes go out, but today we're doing this for you. So this is a weekday night, we should say, and we just want to show you another example of how you can make a pretty easy dinner on a weeknight without having to like get the whole kitchen going, because nobody feels like doing that after a long day of work. But don't go to McDonald's because of that. Just go home and do something. Okay, make sure you have the good stuff in the house. Zucchinis can last in your fridge about, what? Well, this one is about 3 weeks old. I just cut the end off and it's fine in here. Good to go. So we're going to cook this today. But this is, I think I got this at a farmer's market about 4 weeks ago, and it was that long. For $1 in New York, organic. So keep your eyes open for stuff like this. Summer squash. Of course, it is now fall. And now we have things like winter squashes, which we're going to make other videos showing how to do something like that. This is a butternut squash here. So anyway, we have two different zucchinis from two different trips to the farmer's market. This wasn't $1, this was $1. So we're going to use them because you can see it's sort of time. So you just need some zucchini, whatever you can get your hands on. And then we put, for this much zucchini, definitely put a whole onion. I like to do yellow onion with stuff like this, and red onion I like to do for raw dishes, but that's just me. Garlic, not a whole head like this, but we'll take probably 3 cloves off this thing for this amount of zucchini. So we're going to saute this stuff very lightly, and since we're doing a light saute, no heat really, just very low heat, we're going to go ahead and use olive oil because it's very nice with this. And so if you use olive oil, you have to saute low, but that's what we'll do then. Very good flavor. And then we're going to add some mineral salt. Again, this is called Himalayan crystals, 250 million years old, blah blah, Earth Circle Foods. I mean, it's a pure hippie salt. Okay. So anyway, but what we really care about here is that it's mineral salt, which means, see how it's pink and yellow, and it's got all sorts of little trace minerals in it still. Table salt generally has had all that taken away and used for other purposes, so you're just sort of stuck with the salt. But you really want these trace minerals, so if you can get like a good sea salt or another raw salt like this, you know, it's basically a pure, full spectrum salt. That's what you kind of want to use, because your body actually needs good salt, contrary to popular belief. So unless you have some sort of strange heart condition that has you seriously retaining water, please don't be afraid of eating salt. Okay. We're going to cook this up. We're going to first cut it, of course. We'll catch up with you again when we're doing this. But before I go, I just want to let you know that if you are, if you're in a situation where, I use this as a side dish mostly. Well, around here side dishes are really main dishes and the meat's on the side, but never mind that. But if you're really a vegetarian or whatever, then you won't want to make more than this, right? But if you're sort of want a little bit more of a hefty meal, or you have a big eater in the house, or teenagers, or things of that sort that really need to eat a lot. I didn't mean to say things, I meant people. Teenagers are people too. But then what you can do is you can take and cook, when you cook, saute the onion, you can actually put some ground beef on the pan as well, and give that some, you know, little extra attention before you put the rest of the stuff on. Then you can actually make it a saute with ground beef mixed in, which is also extremely good. Especially when that ground beef is grass-fed ground beef, people. Grass-fed. Then if you need more than that, and you know, if this isn't going to be enough for you, if you want a little more substance, then you could cook up some, like, brown rice, for example, and have a little brown rice next to your other stuff, and that would really be a completely full meal. So, just a couple of different variations on the same theme. But today we're just going to show you the basic saute, and then you can embellish it as you wish when you sit down to cook it. So we'll catch up with you in a second. Okay, the zucchini has been cut up, so that's how much you get out of what I showed you before. That's not too bad. Considered almost free food. Organic zucchini. Here's the garlic, and I put the onions on already. So what we're going to do is put a little olive oil on here. So since this is monounsaturated oil, you don't have to be really careful about olive oil. You can chop that up and mop it up and send it down the hatch. It doesn't really hurt you. Monounsaturated versus polyunsaturated, which is stuff like canola, corn. Anyway, olive oil you don't want to heat up too much. So that's why we do a light saute. You don't want to get this stuff sparkling too heavily, because that will oxidize it, and then you have another problem on your hands. So you don't want to oxidize the food. That's a bad idea. So we're going to get this going, but not too wildly. So, however, having said that, I mean, you can cook up this saute in probably about 20 minutes. So it doesn't take long for zucchini to cook. So you know, just let this sit there for a minute. And one thing you should know about zucchini, if you're going to grow your own, or if you're out looking for it, you should definitely go for organic zucchini. There are some GM zucchinis on the market. I don't know what they have in them as far as BT pesticide and things like that. I don't think they're as advanced as some of the corn. But if you buy it organic, it can be GMO. So you're better off buying the organic, because that way you know it's not going to be a GMO seed. But if you're going to go out and grow your own, just be aware that there are GM seeds and non-GM seeds out there, and you want to go for heirloom. So, you know. And now we're starting to sizzle over here, so I'm turning it way down. And I'm just going to let this thing go. So what's going to happen after this is, as soon as these onions turn a little bit glassy, we'll add the garlic and give that a spin, and then we'll stick the zucchini in there. So we'll catch up with you. Time for the garlic. You can see the onion has got that slightly glassy look to it now. But again, very low heat. That's the key with this. Do not overheat your olive oil. We'll pop the garlic in here now. You just like to spin it around a little bit and get it spread out, get the flavor in there. But not for really long. That's all we need right there. Smell that garlic. And then this stuff here. And then we just let it cook until the zucchini gets soft. Just stir it around some and get that zucchini softened up. We'll salt and pepper it a little bit later. I'll show you when I get to the point of almost taking it off. We'll stick some salt and pepper on there. But for now, we're just going to let this stuff simmer at a low heat, or saute, or whatever you want to call this heat here. It's almost a simmer heat, but I'm just going to let that warm up. I might even put a lid on it for a little bit and just sit there and take care of itself for a moment, and then we'll get back. Here we are. So you can see things have that glassy look now, and that's pretty much what you want right there. So what we're going to do is add a little salt and pepper. You can go any direction you want with this, of course. You can spice it whatever you want, but I'm just making a neutral version here so that you can see what you could pair it with. You know, for example, it's really nice with a piece of grilled salmon. You could also eat it next to like a little piece of meat, like steak or something. You could have it next to some chicken. And again, if you're vegetarian, you don't have to eat next to any meat at all. If I was going to eat this next to lamb, I'd probably try to make it a little bit like rosemary or something in there, just to kind of give it a Greek twist. But and you could theoretically put this inside your crepes if you like crepes. I mean, we have another recipe, another video showing how to make crepes, and you could theoretically cut these a little finer and then make this kind of stuff and put it inside a crepe, maybe with a little tomato in there. And you can put tomato in here too. We've done that before. You can put mushroom in here too if you want. It really sort of, the purpose of these videos is just to kind of show you what you can do with what you have in the fridge, what you have left over, or, you know, or what's easy to shop for and make without having to, you know, go through a huge orchestration. Because if you have to go through a huge orchestration before you cook anything, guess what? It'll be like the Martha Stewart recipe that sits on your desk for 3 weeks that you mean to try. The whole idea here is to eat healthy every day. So, nothing wrong with Martha Stewart, except she can make you spend a whole day doing a butternut squash soup, which is like a 20-minute job. Just saying. See how this is going? I don't like to burn myself on camera, so we're going to take our precautions. Yep. You don't want to mush it out. You want it to have that little crunch left over. But, you know, you obviously don't want it to be raw, although you can eat zucchini raw. But you want a little crunch left over, and that's what you have here. I also leave the peel on because it's green, so I figure there's probably some good chlorophyll in the green. And why not leave it on? I mean, why bother peeling this thing if you don't have to? Also, you notice there's some seeds in here. Now, I don't know if I'm tricky enough with my chopsticks to get this. There's seeds in here too. These are from the large zucchini, primarily. They taste great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So, just keep them and stick them into the dish. Enjoy. It's there for you to cook in 20 minutes on any kind of given day that you feel like something that's healthy and easy and not too expensive. Signing off from Work Saloon.